That's good. That's good.
These are your arrows. Forward, backward, right here.
Forward, backward. All right. So, welcome. I completely changed my talk this morning when I realized I had all the dates wrong. So this all started out in 1978 when Raj Reddy sent me to a speech recognition workshop at MIT, sponsored by Ken Stevens and Dennis Klatt. I have absolutely no recollection of anything that happened at that workshop whatsoever, but it was really exciting to be there because I remember that. What I do remember, though, is that at the end of the first day, I was about to go drinking, and there was an optional event. And that optional event was changed my life. And I was about to go drinking, but Patricia Kuhl, Dr. Patricia Kuhl, Pat, said, I really needed to see this guy, Victor Zhu, who could read speech spectrograms. And we all knew that that was impossible, and Klatt and Stevens had tried to read speech spectrograms and concluded it was impossible. And there was insufficient information in the speech wave to do that. So that's the introduction to my talk. What happened was I met Victor Zhu. I stayed and watched him, and he had spent 2,000 hours of his life labeling speech spectrograms, and he could do it like nobody else in the world could. I don't know why he did it. I don't know what his motivation was, but he spent 2,000 hours of his life doing that. So that's the background for this, and that's how I met Victor Zhu, and thanks to Pat Kuhl. Okay, so let's see what this talk is about. So here's the history of my relationship. This is just the events that happened while I was at Carnegie Mellon. I watched Victor Zhu reading speech spectrograms, and I was stunned and amazed because the prevailing wisdom was that that was impossible to do. So I knew nothing about speech recognition at that time. I was a psychologist. I had no computer training whatsoever. But I did tell Raj that I'd seen Victor reading spectrograms, and he said, I don't think that's possible. Klatt and Stevens has shown it was not possible to do. And I said, no, I really saw this guy doing this. And so Raj invited Victor to CMU. And Raj, I don't know how many of you know him intimately, but he loves to make movies, or at least he used to love make movies. And so he made a movie of Victor reading speech spectrograms. And that's a wonderful thing that happened. And people were able, the movie was published, it was shown at lots of conferences. So that's what happened. So he was filmed locating the speech segments and assigning labels to them. If you've never seen the video, it's online, and you can see Victor labeling speech spectrograms and putting the segments on. And then we created a movie, and that movie's online, and it's called Speech as I See It, okay? And it was presented at various conferences. And here's what it looks like. What?
No, I'm just reacting.
Oh, I thought I screwed up.
It looks like a Rorschach guy.
For sure. So I don't know how to make this. Oh, it's plenty big. So that's a speech spectrogram, okay? A lot of blobs there, right? And Victor, bless his heart, and he's living nicely in Kauai now. So he would put those lines on. And those are the segment boundaries. And if you can't read phonetics, it doesn't matter. It's there's a the and an and an s and so forth. And it's saying the soldiers knew the battle was won. Wow. So you can see, and he does that. Half of them are just single single symbols. And it wasn't sure, then he would say, maybe here's my first guess, here's my second guess. He did 2,000 hours of this, labeling these speech spectrograms. It's just absolutely amazing. So it demonstrated that it was possible to do speech recognition. It really was existence proof that it was possible to do speech recognition. And that's what Victor Zhu brought to us. And so we went and Raj liked to make movies, so we made a movie. And then when that was all done, I got another challenge from Raj. He said, okay, now you've done that, why don't you see if you can recognize the letters of the E set produced by any speaker? So now we were into computer speech recognition, and I'd learned a little bit about that. So we took these letters, which are highly, highly confusable. B, D, E is one group of letters that's very difficult. B and D differ by milliseconds and spectral difference, right? And so Victor and I worked together, and he was able to identify the distinctive differences between each of the letters in the E set and create a computer program that could do that. So that was the first demonstration that it was possible to recognize fine phonetic distinctions and have computer speech recognition.
What year is that approximately?
So the movie Speech as I See It, which is online at YouTube. So this was 78 when we did this, and in 1980 we did the movie Speech as I See It with Victor labeling spectrograms on the thing. So there's an example here. Before a vowel, the phoneme B and D produce bursts, very, very short, and the D burst is much higher than the B burst, okay? So these are the kinds of distinctions that happen. All right, so this all happened, and in 1982, there was a second ever AAAI meeting, and by that time, we'd gotten much more proficient at developing these technologies. Visitors came to the CMU Speech Lab in Wien Hall on the third floor where the speech lab was. They donned a headphone with an attached microphone, and they could speak any of the 26 letters of the English alphabet. And they did it with about 95% accuracy. People were just blown away. They just didn't know that such a thing happened. And how did they react? It was a wonderful day. And there they are, our speech researchers who visited us at Wien Hall. I think that's it. Many thanks. I was hoping I'd see Roberto here, but Raj made this all happen. Yeah, he had faith in a guy who didn't know anything when he showed up.